This is a Little Kuriboh Exposed video that I saw roll up on my fucking dashboard, and there could be points here. I'm not gonna come in biased like I am against the anti-Vivzy Pop people because they're extra. I don't know what's in this video, but I am very curious. How you gonna attack an abridger who only puts out a fucking episode every 2 years? Let's see. And mad at cartoons on the internet, Little Kuriboh created the abridged. That's a legacy right there. That's the content I grew up on before all these fancy has-been hotels. Little Kuriboh's a tool, got him.
Vaginas!
Apparently there's drama with fucking Takahata 101. Maybe I'll look at that. The only drama I've ever heard of Little Kuriboh getting into is with Shady Vox. Shady Vox voiced the Dragon Ball Jaden in the Bonds Beyond Time movie that Little Kuriboh did, the fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. And I guess they got into a fight because Shady Vox subscribed to Milo Yiannopoulos' fucking YouTube or something. He's still around, he's Daily Wire or something, but he was just like the conservative token gay and was saying edgy things. And because Shady Vox subscribed to that person, Little Kuriboh like threw their friendship away. And I thought that was a little bit extra, because I mean, who the fuck is Milo Yiannopoulos compared to the characters we got nowadays, first of all? You're gonna throw Shady Vox, you're gonna throw away a friend over politics. You could have just held on a little bit longer. It got worse.
Vagina. Vagina! Vagina. 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 Vagina.
That's why don't just tear up every vagina in the whole world.
So this, okay, this just I think there was an exposed video, but I think there's shit in here, I don't know.
Like a bitch. What kind of lonely, deranged freak proposes to somebody over the internet?
Little Kuriboh?
He's also a great Frieza in TFS, just saying.
When I think about penguins, I touch myself. Since I am a woman, I have no idea where we are.
Okay, once again, some poisoning the well. As a fucking person who watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, said I'm unlike fucking has-been. Somehow Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is more common in my head there. The I don't know because I'm a woman. That's taken out of context there. The joke there is that, 4Kids, like, actually said that shit. Like, said, I don't know because I'm a woman, and it was calling back to that. I'm pretty sure. Out of context. Poisoned the well. Fucking false narrative. Fake news.
Hey, what's going on guys? Zev here, and welcome to today's video. Today, we're going to be talking about Little Kuriboh, aka Martin Billany. If I mispronounced that, I am very sorry. For those of you who have really good attention to detail, I said this a little while back. Please remember that this really is just a bunch of nonsense and it's never anything personal unless stated otherwise. And trust me, I will make it clear when that happens. Well, the time has come. While I may get a little peeved in some of my videos, it's never anything personal and I'm not actually that upset. However, I will be honest, today is going to be a bit more personal. As this is something I've been a little more involved with and have seen firsthand exactly how this guy behaves, I'm gonna be a little bit more upset than usual. So if you guys are cool with that, here we go.
Well, damn, at least we don't got bears and birds. This guy's got first-hand knowledge, he says. We'll find out.
So Little Kuriboh has been around for a very long time. He's one of the most influential creators amongst the world of anime abridged. He created the Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged series, which is considered the start of everything that is abridged, at least when it comes to the anime world. This Duel Monsters parody goes as far back as 2009. That's insane to me that content that good existed way before the more advanced softwares we have today. He has also done work for other abridged.
Okay, though, like, fucking, did you actually watch Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged? Good is a stretch for the first few episodes. It kind of... Like, if I were to watch early Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged in, like, 2013, I would call it dated. But you can kind of go back and watch it now because it's kind of so bad that it's nostalgic good. I highly recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged if you haven't seen it.
bridge characters, with his most well-known likely going to Frieza in Dragon Ball Abridged, as well as a little bit of 5Ds and my personal favorite of his, the Naruto spoof series. Now, to give credit where credit is due,
Oh fuck yeah, I'm gonna be hype. I'm gonna be hype because I just recently watched Ninja Bridge. It's great. It's wonderful. I highly recommend.
Martin is a master of his craft. This dude is ridiculously talented. He did almost every voice in Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. While he did have some help in later episodes, he carried the main cast all on his own. Not to mention the fact that he's covering his accent at the same time. I can only dream of being as good as an actor as this guy. When it comes down to how he portrays himself on video and his creations of parody, you get a really chill guy with many years of experience. However, this is where most of the positives will come to a close, because how Little Kuriboh portrays himself outside of his YouTube audience is a very different story.
Okay, because this is what I'm saying, and we got fucking, I think that's Shady Vox fucking rapping back there. That was pretty stupid to throw a fucking friendship away for someone subscribing to shit. I subscribe to fucking problematic shit all the time because I want to know what they're saying. I'm keeping the lookout. I'm doing the fucking work instead of just hearing it through the telephone game. Like, I think Shady Vox was even kind of saying that. Like, I don't agree with a lot of the things this guy says. I just like hearing it. There's nothing wrong with hearing shit from another point of view. If you don't do that, you're stuck in an echo chamber. You gotta see what the other side's saying. Like I said, I don't even think Shady Vox was even a fan of fucking this guy. And that guy fell off and is irrelevant anyways.
Now, for this first segment, I ask that you take this with a very heavy grain of salt. The first thing that stuck out to me about this guy happened when I decided to check out his Twitter a little while back. Given what he's offered to the community, I expected maybe some memes or funny anime stuff, but I was caught off guard when I saw that a chunk of his timeline was him lecturing his audience about abusive behavior or reposting other people's situations. I know this doesn't seem like much at first, and in theory, there really isn't anything wrong with this, but this is what personally bothered me about this. Again, it's not usually part of his platform. If he wants to drop some knowledge here or there, then I respect that. But considering that I know him as a voice actor and comedian, and he uses his platform to preach to people about an uncomfortable subject, I find this very strange. If you all followed me for my drama content and then saw that my Twitter was dedicated for hating on a political party or the school system, if I were you, I'd be very uninterested and frankly feel a little bit icky. You'd probably expect me to talk about drama or anime.
He's not the only one though. JonTron had his whole time where he did that. iDubbbz just threw his career away over fucking shit he doesn't even care about, really. Just did it for the clout. Happens all the time. But I guess it is a fair criticism. I don't know what you do, because just because you make content on YouTube, does that mean you're not entitled to use your Twitter to say whatever you want? Like, I think it's different if he were making videos on all this subject and putting it on his main channel. It's a fair criticism.
Or something relating to my platform. Here's what really sat with me about this. I've been around for a little while, and it's in my experience that people who
I don't know, is this Spaceless Opinions?
I am bloodlusted right now.
Kinda sounds similar.
lecture others about something when it isn't asked about are normally very shallow people with very limited interests, and at worst, have something to hide. How many times have we seen someone complain about sexualized anime characters only to be exposed for being a sexual deviant? How many times did Onision act as a soldier for women before being exposed as a degenerate groomer? Now, I'm not saying any of this to assume or dare accuse Martin has abused or hurt anyone, but this is just the heavily subjective reason why I felt a little icky and don't get the greatest vibe from him.
Okay, I said fair, and then we're doing r/YouTube drama arguments. What I mean when I say r/YouTube drama. Alright, so there's this Reddit, and I guess what happened was you discuss YouTube drama, whatever's in the news, who's ever getting canceled this week. And then H-Bomber Guy made the plagiarism video. Now H-Bomber Guy's fans all flooded the drama thread, and they kinda never left. And all they do is post videos, the post subjects about, what YouTuber do you not like anymore? And it'll be like, I really don't like those game grumps. They give me child abusing vibes. Like, they just make shit up. No evidence, no screenshots. I don't know what it is about H-Bomber Guy's crew here. Not his crew, not anyone he knows, it's just his fans. They just make shit up, and then they're like, because they give me that vibe, and then they get 1 million upvotes, and then if you call them stupid, they all downvote you. And this is very, so that's what I mean when I say r/YouTube drama. What he just did here, this little fuck,
act as a soldier for women before being exposed as a degenerate groomer. Now, I'm not saying any of this
Now, because Onision got fucking said he loves women and then abuses women, because one creator did that, that must mean all creators, all of them.
So does this mean that this user hates all anime?
If they are, you know, if they're promoting something too much, that must mean they're a serial killer. Checks out. This is a great informative fucking video.
to assume or dare accuse Martin has abused or hurt anyone, but this is just the heavily subjective reason why I felt a little icky and don't get the greatest vibe from him. Why would I, as an adult, be lectured about something I don't even do from someone who doesn't generally present himself as a formal expert on the topic? Now, this next one is something that sparked an immediate red flag for me. I went to check out his premiere episode of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged and found this in the description. This video may contain transphobic, homophobic, sexist, or any other types of humor or dialogue that no longer represent how I, the creator of this video, wish to present my works. At the time, I thought of it.
Now, not glazing, but this could just be to cover his own ass so we don't have like a billion fucking video essays like the one we see on VivziePop getting made, where it's like, he made a this character's actually a man joke here. What a piece of shit. So it's just better for him to put this in all the goddamn descriptions so no one can even start. He made this shit in 2009. Enough said. The internet was a different place. He shouldn't have to write this, but because of the world, he does. It's just, it probably saved him a lot of agony making this, so I wouldn't criticize him on this point.
As harmless jokes, but it is clear the damage that has been done by such dismissive and toxic writing on my part. I apologize for it, and there is no real excuse for using it. Point number one, that video contains none of that style of humor. In fact, most of his videos don't even contain what most people would define as dark humor. It's mostly just random silliness. So I don't know why he felt the need to put this disclaimer under 63 episodes.
In the early ones, there is a few fucking, oh, can you believe that person's actually a woman and you're gay, lol. There's those types of jokes. Except it's 2009. Does seem extreme, but it covers his ass.
Of his flagship series. So he's become another talented creator who started practicing self-censorship on the off chance that he'll offend some stranger. Now guys, I'm just gonna be real here. It's likely either nobody
You gotta, that's a standard to get caught. He's from a country where you get arrested for saying offensive things. You gotta cover yourself up.
complained about these jokes, or very few people complained. It's very often that people are more afraid to be offensive than are actually offensive. Let's break this down here. Where? Honestly, where? I mean, there's this joke.
Hello everyone, it's bloody nice to meet you. What's wrong with his voice? It's here, girl.
That's the closest I can think of, and it had more to do with how
I just watched 2 VivziePop videos where that joke was in fucking Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel, and it wasn't an actual trans character or someone in the rainbow. If it wasn't that, yes, someone would make a video and call fucking Vivian a horrible person because of that joke. So it's very interesting to see the Little Kuriboh is too woke argument against VivziePop, who gets attacked for every little fucking thing ever. Because it all kind of makes sense.
how feminine he looks. Not that he's trans. Homophobic? I mean, yeah, there's jokes about gay relationships, but I can't think of a single joke in the series that would be at all insulting to gay people. I mean, yeah, there's this clip.
Since I am a woman, I have no idea where we are.
Is that a baby crying?
I have no idea what a baby is because I am a woman.
Now, once again, in the video, there's a moment where, like, fucking Yugi's asking, how do you know where to go or what you're doing? And she says, woman's intuition, or like something like, I can't do that because I'm a woman, and he puts under there parentheses actual 4Kids dub, and he'll even show the clip from the actual dub or the Japanese version. Like, there will actually be sexism in the show, and that's the joke that it's calling back here to. That's why she's like, I can't possibly do this because I am a woman, because that's what the actual fucking show said. This is getting taken out of context. Sorry, this is just because I know Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. I watched it a few times. I played Duel Links. I can throw down, and I watch this when I do it.
Hey, we don't need babies.
Oh, me woman, me dumb.
It's not a very well crafted joke, but I'm not going to assume Martin genuinely hates women because of it. You took the time to add.
I don't know why I went on that whole tirade, because he's not even hating on it. I'm just saying that's the joke that it's going for. It's funny.
A disclaimer to videos that are years old over jokes that aren't even remotely offensive. If you're being this hard on yourself, I can only imagine how you would project onto others. If you and I were speaking and I make a distasteful joke, are you going to expose me for racism? If I was working with you, I feel like I'd have to walk on eggshells. Now, I'm sure plenty of people have good experiences working with you, but if you have to censor yourself this much, I'm not sure if that's about safety or insecurity, but it can really weigh down on your content when you try and look for issues where there are virtually none. And all of that aside, you become one of those people who actually think jokes can harm people. Rude people harm people. Jokes hurt nobody. You should be old enough to know the difference. And you having to censor yourself so heavily probably explains why I can barely sit through 3 minutes of your newer episodes. Though, to be fair, you have been doing it for a while, and any formula after 15 years will start to feel stale. And I love how
I think the new episodes are fine for what they are. They're not as good as like episode 60 of Team 4-Star, or I argue that the Project Mouthwash Unlimited Blade Works Abridged is like the one I look forward to the most right now. But they're pretty decent, they're pretty good, he still has it. That's just subjective.
he says that it may contain.
Subjective virtue signaling, really.
And hey guys, it may happen, it may not. You'll just have to see. You turned your own content into a prescription bottle. So those are the more personal gripes I have with this guy. Not anything that's the end of the world, and people are free to disagree. But what we're gonna get into next, yeah. For a little bit of context, Formosa Interactive is part of several voice acting companies that did not agree to a union protection against AI, leading English voice actors to fear that their voices would be used by AI to replicate them and therefore replace them, saving money. Hoyoverse, the company behind Genshin Impact, uses Formosa for its English dialogue, and because of this, the union chose to strike and many English voice actors backed out of Genshin projects. I couldn't find if Martin himself was involved in any of these companies personally, but as a voice actor, he was of course very concerned about this and understandably supported the strike. Basically, his entire Twitter feed was dedicated to topics relating to it. I understand that he would be upset, but it's just depressing that he has to make it his entire focus for his pay.
Once again, I mean, it's annoying if you want him to do funny ha-has on his Twitter, but it's his Twitter, not his main channel, and this is something important to him. This is the industry he has chosen. And people be yelling about AI for littler things. Like I said, I think this is fair because he's actually got a platform and he's got connections and probably followers in the voice acting industry. So, like, and that's what virtue signaling, they're all annoying people, these virtue signalers, but that's actually what it means is he is signal boosting this thing that is important to him in people that are in the same industry as him. So I think he should be forgiven for this one.
While this strike was going down, a voice actor by the name of Jacob Takanashi announces that he happily accepted the role for the Genshin creator Kenichi. I'm honored to—
Yeah, reminder, this is all based off the disclaimer in the description. Send him down a tizzy. So this is the VA strike. This is a different chapter. I think this is fair of him to do.
To join the English cast of Genshin Impact as the voice of Kenichi. Taking up the mantle of Malipo is a privilege, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to carry the flame from the previous flamebearer, John, who did an incredible job. Those are big shoes to fill, and I promise to give it my all, out of respect for him, for Hoyoverse, and for you, the fans. Thank you to Diana for their amazing direction and for helping me navigate the intricacies of this incredible game, and to Side Tokyo and Hoyoverse for the honor of bringing Kenichi to life. I'm deeply grateful for the privilege of entertaining you all. From this, he seems like a really respectable guy who appreciates his fellow actors and is excited to take on the role. However, his fellow actors were not too thrilled about this. There are many reasons why roles get recast. I personally draw the line when the original actor is holding out because they are fighting for better work conditions. I have refused many auditions to take over roles from my peers because I'd never do that to another fellow actor. Dude, really classist move considering an actor was fighting for AI protection on this job. I appreciate folks want the paycheck, but they should know crossing a picket line is an immediate and permanent black mark. Thumbs down. This wasn't a passing of the torch. My hope is you were misled and weren't fully aware that John was withholding his work to fight for a better future for actors everywhere. If that's the case, you have the opportunity to do the funniest thing right now. But if not, and you continue this role, yikes, man. A good way to show the respect for the previous performer would be to use their full name.
Aw, dude, he got yikes.
So people can actually go ahead and support them now that they're out of the job. This is pretty awful stuff, man.
Okay, though, voice actors, but Don't be throwing up the GoFundMes now, though. Y'all ain't entitled to the people to support you.
Selling out your peers and the future of this industry for a role? Please stay far away. This is utterly gross. I hope you take a step back and consider what it is you are doing to your fellow actors, let alone what you're doing to this career. This is so wrong, so wrong. You stole a job from someone fighting for all of our rights, yours included. The disrespect from you to play this off like this was a gift.
If Little Kuriboh is a goddamn scab, we can't approve of that.
To you is sick. I hope it was worth it, because I guarantee not a lot of people will ever want to work with you again. It should be important to note that all these individuals are voice actors or members of the industry. As all this was going down, we got some pretty big reveals. One of the VAs going after Jacob was Kaylee Mills, who has voiced loads and loads of characters. She's been around for a while. She thought it was completely okay to say this. This is actually kinda diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. This just comes off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look. Accepting a role and keeping your career going is diabolical. At least take the role uncredited. This comes off as clout chasing.
Okay, so wait, is the argument that fucking Little Kuriboh, because Little Kuriboh's Martin, he's not Jake, jumped on this fucking bully this person, and some people said, you know, he's just getting a paycheck, he's doing his livelihood. Well, this is, once again, do people not know how unions work? No, if you're a scab, you are a bad person. That is how this works, because you are straight up fucking over all of your coworkers. If a union doesn't work, if everyone doesn't stay together. So, this is what happens in real life. You can't go cross the picket line at the factory. Yeah, you have a family to support and shit, but you're supposed to all stick together, and those people who cross the picket line? My mother worked at a factory where some person crossed the picket line in the fucking 60s. And in 2010, people didn't forget about that shit. It's just you don't do it. So I'm gonna have to fucking forgive Little Kuriboh in this one. Yeah, people got bills to pay and people to take care of too, but there's rules with unions and shit. You don't fuck around.
How can someone with this much experience be so rude and unprofessional? And that's when we get this bomb dropped. According to voice actor Nathan Noakes, fellow VA Jacob Takanashi, who was Japan-based, had no knowledge of the strike or the circumstance.
I mean, the person making this video probably never had one of them union jobs to understand you don't scab.
Of which the role is being recasted. Yes, Jacob is based in Japan and is very likely to not have known about the union. While yes, it is interesting how he may not have known about something directly tied to his industry, he still resides in a different nation. Why would he be bothered with American subjects? So days go by and we get this. Kiba Walker,
Okay, we can put that one back on Little Kuriboh then, because I was gonna say, well, what the fuck, you want everyone to do their research? Yeah, if you're gonna grandstand on your fucking Twitter platform, though, you probably should. The union don't apply to him if he's Japanese.
Other experienced voice actor revealed that she had received a death threat due to associating with Jacob. Jacob quoted this, sending his support and condemning the threat, as well as revealing that Kiba wasn't the only one to receive these kinds of threats. So after sending their support for someone who was sent a direct email stating that they deserve death for associating with an innocent voice actor, how does Little Kuriboh react?
You said walk the picket line in a factory union, you'll get death threats IRL.
He thought this was the right thing to say. With respect, tensions would decrease significantly if you recognized and spoke publicly on the fact that voice actors aren't bullying you. If you truly didn't know about the strike, say so.
I mean, it is weird, creator of this video, that you just did a whole thing on virtue signaling and you're acting like them talking shit on Twitter is like bullying. I don't consider internet things bullying. I mean, unless you're, like, targeting people's fucking family members and doxing and shit. It's like, it's words on the internet. What you gonna do? I'm not afraid of y'all. Leave your house, I dare you. Probably shouldn't say that stuff, but... It's just, maybe it's because Little Kuriboh's British. That's what he's got going against him, because everything you read on Twitter, you just gotta add smugness to it. It's not their fault where they're born. Gosh, that's prejudiced of us Americans.
If you did, say so, but voice actors are going to keep getting attacked until then. So instead of expressing his sympathy for this exact situation, which involves someone receiving a death threat, he could not control his emotions and had to give the most inappropriate, unnecessary, insensitive response. Now, if I want to play devil's advocate and get a little technical here, would I go as far as to say that Jacob was being bullied by the VAs that we saw? For me, it's hit or miss. Now, was he being targeted because of an agenda agenda? Yes, absolutely. Voice actors are gonna keep being attacked until then, okay?
This guy's gameplay footage is Genshin Impact, correct? Are you mad? Are you mad because fucking Little Kuriboh intersected with your VA drama? Wish Fate Grand Order had some fucking voice acting so I didn't have to read all that stuff.
Gonna be honest, I'm not really sure what he's talking about here. This one response would ignite the downfall of Martin's online image. There are loads of comments calling him out for his insensitive behavior. If you go onto his recent video, there's a surge in negative comments regarding.
See, there's the moral of the story. You can't fucking win. You apologize for every video and make a disclaimer, even if there's nothing offensive in the video, and you're still getting attacked for the words you said somewhere. It's all for nothing, Martin.
In the situation. After all this went down, Martin was pretty quiet on Twitter. Was he taking a step back to reflect on his actions and putting his focus onto controlling his frustration? No. He went to Bluesky so he can bitch and moan even further. Since Kaylee's tweet had a reader added context note slapped onto it, I'll go ahead and add my own here. Nathan Noakes is either lying or being lied to.
You know, I get it. People don't like. I don't like that Twitter's called X. It makes me mad. If people leave him because of Elon. But at least Twitter has the community notes. I don't trust this. I don't trust this Little Kuriboh that you went to a completely different social media and took a tweet with you. Yeah, that's off platform. That's in this internet court. I argue this is unlawful. This is bad transfer of evidence right here.
Keep in mind that he decided to drop.
And then you started off with, I'm gonna add my own context here, so there is no community note, haha.
This with absolutely no proof to this statement. So after he got blasted on Twitter for his insensitive statement, he runs to his echo chamber to cry about how Nathan, the person who revealed Jacob didn't know about the strikes, is either dishonest or being misled. This is pathetic. This is completely childish behavior. I was disregarding the fact that voice actors are going after someone because I'm angry about the strike. Oh, that person didn't know about the strike and people are getting upset at me for it? He's being lied to. That's you. That's what you sound like. It was at this point that I was really upset with this guy and I wanted to approach him on his behavior. So I took a one-way trip to hell, Bluesky, and we started having a little chat. You get
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
dunked on Twitter, so you run over here to your echo chamber.
I think all this is fair. That's very bitchy. You got fucking community noted, so you ran to Bluesky.
Do you have direct evidence that Nathan is lying? Because that's what I find the most disappointing. The fact that he can say something so boldly with no evidence to back it, presumably just to make himself feel better about the criticism that he's been receiving. Nothing that would satisfy you. So is that a no? Can you not confirm your own statement? How do you know that? You would make yourself look much better if you presented evidence. Not my evidence to present, smiley face. You're making assumptions about someone just to save face and you're happy about it? It's your own statement, dude. What are you talking about? My being aware of evidence that supports my statement that isn't mine to share. You've never been aware of someone's experience but not wanted to be the one to tell the story because it's not your place? I know someone lied. The evidence isn't mine to present.
Yeah, well, then why are you even talking about a Little Kuriboh? That's some fucking weird shit.
It's very irresponsible of you to be speaking it on this much already. Now expectations are going to be set on whoever's story it is to tell. Any lack of satisfactory evidence that they share is now on you and your statements. You're not helping them. And once more,
Dude, I thought I was being crazy here talking about evidence and the fucking precedences in law. We out here got in word fights. We're debating experiences.
you've never been aware of someone's experience but not wanted to be the one to tell the story because it's not your place? I know someone lied. The evidence isn't mine to present. It's very irresponsible of you to be speaking it on this much already. Now expectations are going to be set on whoever's story it is to tell. Any lack of satisfactory evidence that they share is now on you and your statements. You're not helping them. And once more, for the record, I do not know Nathan is lying. I know he is either lying or was lied to. Yeah, so you don't have evidence for it, despite implying that you did, after making a statement as if it was fact. Okay, I'm not trying to help anyone, but I don't care for liars protecting scabs. Wow, okay, so we've come a long way for you to just flat out state that you don't actually care. This right here is very damning, Martin. After all you've said about the situation, this gives me the impression that you don't actually care about voice actors. You just hate corporations and will do anything to spite them or any.
I don't believe that because he's in the voice acting game. I just believe he should have fucking done his due diligence to research, oh, that person's not involved with the union anyway, so technically they're not a scab. if that's true. That person could maybe, I don't know, are they actually out of the union? Because they're still doing the job in the United States, and there is the voice acting union. I don't know. He should have done his research, and probably what it is his ego. He can't admit that he didn't do his research before making those tweets. The Twitter mob isn't gonna fucking fix that. But it's just very bitchy. I just say he's in the wrong, because who the fuck starts a fight on Twitter and then goes and cries about it on Bluesky?
Anyone working with them. You will fight tooth and nail to make it seem like Jacob knew about the strike and took the job anyway, just to make you feel better about your own judgment and frustration about the situation. Then Little Kuriboh isn't the one who should be making the accusation. Instead, he's put pressure on the person he's referring to make a statement. I'm pretty sure the pressure is already as high as it's gonna get, and plenty of actors agree with me, or else you wouldn't see them liking my posts. But sure, I must be stepping way out of line.
Oh, that's cope. Cope.
I'm receiving hate and criticism from every direction, but all of these voice actors agree with me. I've had more civilized conversations about Santa Claus in grade school. Even those kids did not act as immature as you. Your fellow voice actor goons agree with you that they were not harassing Jacob? Bro, major bro moment right there. Things can't get worse, so I'll just keep adding on. See, other people agree with me. I must be right. You're an incredibly misguided person. Why are you doing this?
And seeing this, Zev says Desu is completely fair in all this shit, and if fucking Little Kuriboh can't answer it right and is being like, fucking smug ass Britoid, you're doing yourself no favors in this.
Support actors or to hate on corporations. I can't do both. You aren't doing both. An actor was sent a death threat and you looked the other way just to feel like you got a win on someone who you still haven't proven knew about the union. So after this, Little Kuriboh finally took a step back, realizing this conversation wasn't going anywhere and decided to just leave it at that.
Me when I lie.
Go away, dude. Go take more screen caps in a vapid attempt to stir controversy and get likes. I've been involved in this situation for almost a year. You just showed up. Nobody answers to you here.
Oh, that's true, Zev. You've been called out as a fucking unreliable witness who got here late. Is this true? Were you late to the party? Is this where Hassan says you can't have an opinion on people sending Ethan Klein skulls in the mail because you're just now talking about Israel-Palestine and you didn't care before, so you've no right to talk about the skulls in the mail? Zev, do you have right to talk about the skulls in the mail?
What level of entitlement have you built to think someone will leave just because you told them to? I'm fighting what you say because I disagree with you. If you don't want to deal with me, block me. Now, this wasn't me challenge him like, yeah, block me, you pussy. No.
No, I get what he was saying there, fucking just calling him out for being a bitch, which he's being.
This was me straight up telling him, if you don't want me to express my disagreements towards you, you can block me. Because everything he was telling me was just more fuel for the fire. He was ignoring the Minecraft tips and just digging straight down. And yes, he blocked me. At this point, he doesn't want to deal with me anymore, and there's not much more I can do about interacting with him, so I left it at that.
Now we gotta skip 100 years of 3, cause the story ain't told chronologically.
Here's the problem, Martin.
As far as this video goes, though, like I said, I find the virtue signaling, yeah, but you kinda gotta do that. All the fucking creators do anymore. You gotta put the shit in your fucking bio. I think that even though it's old drama, I think the Shady Vox shit should have been put in here because it kind of applies to, you know, character. That would have been better in the virtue signaling thing, and then this would be a pretty good video because it is kind of, he's looking very bitchy.
You are so hellbent on making Jacob look bad and denying the fact that he faced unfair treatment, all for the fact that he didn't join your precious union. And how about this? What if he did know about the strikes and accepted the role anyway? The way that you've been speaking makes it sound like that the hate that he receives is totally justified. Actually, you know what? That makes what you originally said make a lot more sense. Voice actors are going to keep getting harassed until then. What makes you so special? You're not siding with me, so I'm just going to ignore and deny the harassment that you face. Based on your stance on this whole situation, I don't think you're a good person. And I don't mean this from a stance of internet drama. I think that you made it very clear what kind of person you are. You want to sit in your echo chamber where no one disagrees.
It is an overreaction, but like I said, Little Kuriboh's got a reason to be concerned with the voice acting unions and whatnot, because that's his career and he's got the platform and the connections for it. So it makes sense that he talks about it on fucking Twitter all day. But the fact that he didn't do his research on who he was bullying and he's trying to just fucking be all smug about it. That's the issue there. It's just how he can't do the run back and can't apologize. and is complaining about the drama being dragged out, but is doing himself no fucking favors to end it getting dragged out. Just with that, it's my experiences. I got evidence in my head and I don't have to share it, and I got the Epstein files.
With you, you can sit there and talk crap about people for clear malicious and petty reasons. You see, at my old company, we almost went on strike. If some of my coworkers chose not to, am I gonna harass them and put them on blast? No, they can choose to work. They don't have to strike. It's their right not to, just as much as it's my right to strike. They have their own lives and careers to build. They can do their thing. I'll do my thing. No sensible person.
But like I said, this guy's also very underestimating how unions work. You can't scab. That is a black mark.
Would do what you and all your fellow voice actors did in this situation. Instead of building a professional union to protest your concerns, you created a cult of crybabies that will excuse and go after those who disagree with you. How does someone with such influence and such a large following be so unprofessional and petty? And what I'm still trying to wrap my head around is, why are you fighting so hard to deny the fact that Jacob didn't know about the strikes? What are you gaining from this? From what I've seen, the only reason I can see you doing this is to feel virtuous, to feel like a hero. If you want to tell me that that's not the truth, then please tell me why. You already said yourself that you're not doing this to help anyone. So why do you keep opening your goddamn mouth? Well, metaphorically speaking. You kept going after Nathan for his stance on AI, which of course I don't fully agree with. But after everything you've said, I have an easier time believing that you're just pissy about people dunking on you. So you're gonna use whatever ammo you have to criticize Nathan, who is the very person who claims that Jacob did not know about the strikes. You boast about the fact that there are voice actors who agree with you. Are these the same actors that have been outed as still working for these companies that you're supposedly fighting against? Why don't you say anything about them? You virtue signal about how you use dark humor that you're not proud of anymore. Use your platform to lecture people about abuse while ignoring blatant abuse of people you don't like. And how you hype yourself on the fact that other members of the industry are siding with you. For someone who seems to hate corporations, you really are one corporate schmuck. My intention here is not to deplatform you or ruin your reputation. You did all that yourself. This was all on public platforms. All of this could have been over if you chose to be professional.
It does come off though, we only saw the interaction with the person making the video. It's not that horrible and damning. It almost kind of seems like, he ruined himself, his whole career, because the interaction we had. Nah, doesn't matter.
And keep your damn mouth shut. But you couldn't do that because you're egotistical, impulsive, and emotional. You've made it more than clear that you hate corporations more than you care about individuals. If anyone watching this still wants to support Martin, then please do so. Just keep in mind that the person that reflects him in his content does not represent who he actually is. He is a bitter, entitled moron who will say whatever he can to make whoever he doesn't like look like the villain of the story. You're out of life points, Martin. This duel is over. So after rambling on for this long, what solutions can I provide for this situation? I've always been a firm believer that people can change for the better, unless they have consistently shown that they don't want to. While Martin has consistently been a nagging scumbag throughout all this, I still think he can come back. My first suggestion would be to please get the fuck off social media and focus on real life things. Go to a thrift store or watch some movies.
Okay, that's some concern trolling stuff, and why has he gotta go to the thrift store? Are you calling him a brokey, Zev?
Movies from your childhood. Just please stay out of this stuff for now. Cool off for a little bit so you can come back with a more level-headed.
Yeah, I said they're both very extra. Both think they're important.
Train of thought. If you don't want to do that, then spend your time on social media focusing on other things, maybe some more positive things for once. While I firmly stand by that I don't believe Little Kuriboh is a good person, at the very least I do believe that some of his morals are intact.
Dude, by everyone's standards on the internet, there is no such thing as a good person. They don't exist. They're fucking unicorns. Everyone's a piece of shit.
And I believe that if he approached these things in a not so brazen manner, then he can be a more positive influence instead of talking to people like they're five.
Like, we've already found out the standard to be not a bad person, not a piece of shit, is if you have 4 charity streams, you better be on all fucking 4 of them.
Other than that, I really don't have anything else. He has forever tainted his online image with his actions surrounding this topic. If he could just focus on his projects and stop trying to act like a hero all the time, at least then people will know what to expect from him. So that right there is gonna do it for today. I can't say I hate Little Kuriboh, but I certainly do not like him. If you guys stuck around till the end, thank you very much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, feel free to like and sub. Stay safe, stay sane, stay in your lane. Goodbye.
Alright, that was just a break with that. I want to do one more video.